Welcome to Recipe Wars. My name is BC Hoffman. Today we're doing chocolate souffle. So today what I chose for my recipe was Giada De Laurentiis gianduja.
This souffle has an unexpected bite in the middle of chocolate and hazelnut. And that combination in Italian is known as gianduja.
So basically gianduja is just hazelnut with chocolate. And I love the fact that she took a classic recipe. She basically made like a chocolate ganache to put in the center with the hazelnut. She used frangelico. In Italy, they use chopped up hazelnuts, which have a little texture, which I really do love too, but we're sticking to her recipe.
Hi, I'm Lolita Lopansary. Well, I chose Mark Bittman.
So I have come up with the drop-dead, easy, foolproof, this means you, all-time chocolate souffle.
He is a columnist and a food writer for the New York Times. So the recipe that I chose from him is really simple. It kind of just lays down all the techniques that you need to make a souffle.
And I'm Adrian Bustamante. Mine came from the beautiful Martha Stewart.
This amazing technique for taking eggs and turning them into gossamer fluffs.
They basically stuck with the original old school souffle recipe, adding a little bit of alcohol. In our case, we're going to use rum. She used a little bit of cognac in her recipe, but we're going to go with rum because who doesn't like a little rum in some of their desserts? But overall, a great old school style recipe that I'm really excited to make.
Excellent, excellent. So, with that being said, even though I know mine's gonna win, let's get this recipe war on. So today we're doing souffles. Souffle is basically a light cake. It consists of custard, flour, and a nice meringue. So all we're gonna do today is one of the most important things, unless you're ready to multitask, is the first key is having, usually in most cases we use a ramekin for a souffle. Now there's so many different types of souffles that you can do. You can do a sweet one, you can do a savory one. Today we're doing chocolate, because who doesn't love chocolate? The key when you're actually putting the souffle in is you wanna make sure that you have this nice and buttered up and sugared up. The butter is gonna basically be to help prevent the souffle from getting over the top, and at the same time the sugar are like little ladder steps for the souffle to climb up. It's gonna add the grit that gives it the strength to climb up, plus the butter and the sugar are just added flavor for your souffle. So we're gonna take our butter, make sure you clean the whisk completely and the bowl completely and your fingers completely, because any fat that you get into your egg whites is gonna prevent the egg white meringue from actually rising. And you definitely wanna get those nice hard peaks going for your meringue. So another key that you wanna do when you put the sugar in, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. My favorite way, just take all that sugar, pour it right on in there.
And it doesn't matter how much sugar you put in there, because the sugar is just gonna stick to what it needs to in the butter, and then just come right out.
And then you're just literally gonna put it
put
right along. There you go.
Little excess in there.
And then you can throw it right back in here, and you have it nice and sugared up. And that excess sugar, you can just keep doing the same thing with every single one of your ramekins.
So I think in all souffle recipes, we all have to separate our egg yolks from our whites. And there's a few different ways you can do it. You can either crack it and then teeter-totter, the yolks out of the eggshell.
The other way is just taking that egg, crack it, and then
Whites in here, whites in here.
right in there.
Sabotage.
Just throw it right in your hand, and then let it sit right through. And you're gonna kind of just snip the albumin right there with your fingers, shake it, and then boom, yolk right in there. So for Giada De Laurentiis, she actually takes her eggs and takes the yolks and puts them in a double boiler, also known as a water bath or a Bain Marie. And we're going to do the same thing. And I'm gonna break your ramekin in the process. And basically she does one yolk at a time. I'm kinda gonna put all of them in there because I don't have such luxurious time that she has. Now the other thing is, what a Bain Marie is, or a water bath, is a gradual way to basically cook your eggs or chocolate or melt anything down without burning, scorching, or over scrambling, in this case for the yolks. We're gonna take that, we're gonna throw our butter in there, and we're also gonna get our vanilla in there as well.
So I'm done whipping my yolks, and you can see it's this like beautiful ribbony, that's what the term is actually called, and it makes this flow of ribbons right into the yolk.
And I'm just about done with whisking my yolks. What I'm also going to do is, according to the recipe, I'm going to add some heavy whipping cream to mine. It's not only going to extend the water in the eggs, but it's also going to allow me to, when I actually put my chocolate in here, the chocolate's not going to turn into a paste. It'll kind of keep that same nice texture that you can just kind of see fall off the spatula, and it'll almost fold itself.
So what I love about this one is Giada actually takes the chocolate, removes the bowl from the Bain Marie, and literally just lets that chocolate melt on its own in the eggs.
A lot of people think that when I'm in the process of whipping my egg whites, that you need so much of this muscle when it's really about your wrist movement and how fast you can do it.
Now I'm adding the chocolate to my mixture here. I'm going to do some dark chocolate as well as some milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is going to add a little bit of a deeper flavor to mine. I don't add a whole heck of a lot because I'm not really into the kind of bitter taste that the dark chocolate happens, but it will allow a good mixture of flavors by adding just a little bit to mine.
So with my recipe, I use bittersweet chocolate, and what it is, it's just chocolate with less sugar and a little bit more cocoa butter.
Basically the key and rule of thumb that I use, especially when you're using an oven, if you can smell it, that means it's done. That means pull it out.
By adding that whipping cream in there, it just creates the ability to just fall off the whisk here, and it almost folds over itself.
Looks like you guys are behind on whipping your whites.
Oh!
Always with the race,
So-
always with the race.
You want nice ribbons of chocolate. That's what you're going for right there. So I've got that going right there. That is how your chocolate should look. Look at that. Oh, that's tasty. So I have a nice soft peak going right now. I'm gonna keep going because I want a medium to hard peak. So you're probably wondering, why did I use flour in mine? Well, the traditional recipe actually does call for flour, just a little bit. And basically the flour is going to be your structure right there. And the egg whites are obviously your lift.
Well, they're still sweating over whipping their egg whites. I'm just about done. And you can see that it's definitely a hard, fluffy pillow of love.
Can you drop an egg in there?
Can you hold it over my head? No,
I'm
please
going
don't.
to,
can drop an egg in
actually.
mine.
This is the ultimate test.
Let's give it the test.
Boom.
Glue. Nothing. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna set my egg whites aside. I'm bringing back my chocolate mixture now, and I'm gonna add a little bit of coffee flavor to mine as well, along with the rum. Put that in there, and just a little bit of rum. And you at home, if you want a lot of bit of rum, feel free. Now I'm gonna add my egg whites to my chocolate mixture. We're gonna fold the egg whites at one point into the mixture, but there's a portion where you actually want to introduce the egg whites to the chocolate. So I'm just gonna introduce them this way, and then you're just gonna mix.
I'm doing in my chocolate, I'm actually gonna throw in that flour and that milk mixture, or flour and milk mixture. I can't speak. I'm gonna mix that in, give that a nice whirl.
So with my recipe, it says to use good quality chocolate. And if you look at all the ingredients in a souffle, what is it? It's eggs, butter, and those are inexpensive ingredients. So you might as well splurge a little bit on some really good quality chocolate.
Yes, you might as well. Now the fold, the great folding technique I always like to use, which is the one everyone should use, is going directly from the middle, coming up and over, and also turning your bowl after every fold as well.
So you're literally gonna start at the edge of the bowl, right? And then go straight to the center.
Go straight to the
You
center.
want to make sure you cut right along the edge of the bowl with that meringue. Now the cool thing is, so once you've done this already, you can actually take it and you can put it, once you've got it in the ramekin, you can put it in the fridge or in the freezer. If you're putting it in the fridge, you can put it in the fridge for like up to 2 hours. If you're putting it in the freezer, if you put saran wrap over top, you can then put it in the freezer for up to a week even. And
So I've actually finished incorporating all my whites with my chocolate, and there's no real humongous white streaks in there. And the important thing to remember is that you want to put the same amount of batter in each ramekin so that it does cook evenly.
so
Alright.
what I really do like that she uses is she drops this in. So you're gonna drop your chocolate ganache / hazelnut right on the bottom of your ramekin.
So I wanted to double check that the higher edges of my ramekin actually have more sugar on them, because like BC said, it's gonna allow my souffle to actually adhere to it as it rises. So please double check that, because if you only have sugar halfway up, it's gonna be a problem when baking it.
Mr. Bustamante's ginormous souffle right there. which looks amazing too. You know what? I think regardless, there's really gonna be, everyone's a winner on this one because all of us get to eat chocolate
I
souffle.
know, who doesn't love chocolate?
Yeah.
I'm a huge sweet fan, so I'm gonna love having a bite of everyone's souffle.
Welcome back to Recipe Wars. We just finished our chocolate soufflés. We pulled them out of the oven. And now it is time to taste test. So let's get tasting. Let's start with this big bad boy right here.
Move this over here.
Oh, yeah. A little Martha Stewart
watch
action.
out.
Oh, man. So, I'm not even a big chocolate fan. I do love chocolate, but that's like not my number one sweet indulgence. But this is amazing. This is kind of just like soft, fluffy, and at the same time, it's kind of like a molten cake just erupting in my mouth with
That would be great
chocolate.
with some vanilla ice cream on
Yeah,
there,
that would be
too.
perfect. I mean, this is really good. It's got like that nice crispy top. You get down the center, and like you said, it's like almost that, like you get at restaurants, they try and sell it as like a volcano cake.
Let's do it. I say we go straight into Giada's.
Giada, Gianduja.
Gianduja. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Oh, man.
It's almost like a marshmallow. Like
It is.
I get a real hit of like I'm biting into. Excuse me.
That good, huh?
Yeah, I get a real hit
Wow.
like I'm biting into like a marshmallow, and then that little chocolate at the bottom with the. Oh man, this is.
Yeah, even when you
That's
put
perfect.
it into the ramekins, his batter was so much more fluffy and light looking as opposed to ours that was really chocolatey and super dark.
This
Yeah.
is
It has
a-
like a nuttiness.
yeah,
It's
this
that
is-
hazelnut.
it's the
That
hazelnut.
hazelnut really comes out. And again, you can do anything. I mean, if you want to stick to the liquor to add the flavor, you can use Di Serono, a little amaretto. I mean, there's macadamia nut liqueurs, there's pistachio liqueurs. You really have any option you want to go with as far as flavor and liquor. But the hazelnut and the chocolate go really well together. And she uses milk chocolate, which is great with the bittersweet chocolate. So it's a nice decadent combination of flavors.
All right,
let's bring
let's
it
try Mark Bittman's recipe.
Mark Bittman.
I'm a little bit nervous because it doesn't have any extra flavors or anything in it, but it's simple. If you're ever trying to make a souffle for the first time, it's the easiest one.
And this is totally a great way if you want to just impress your date or
Make it together. maybe.
yeah, maybe make it together. It's nice and romantic, and at the same time, it's just delicious.
It's definitely more of a.
Yeah.
It's definitely more of a cake, you know, feel to it.
It's weird 'cause there's no flour in it.
Yeah,
at all
which
either.
is crazy in
It
that
was in the
aspect.
whipping.
So less. It's,
I think
it's-
mine's the only one that actually did use
Yeah.
flour in the recipe.
when it doesn't even
and,
seem.
and
it
that
doesn't
one
even seem
seems
like
more
it.
like a marshmallow than any of the other ones.
But it's very, it's a little bit on the drier side for me.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the chocolate isn't overpowering, which is still good. So you get all that good chocolatey flavor to it.
Right.
But again, this would be really good. I think if you had some ice cream with it, this especially. I think out of all three, if you had some ice cream with this one, this would be
Totally.
amazing.
Which is the unanimous winner?
I am going with Giada's just because I'm a huge fan of like marshmallow and lighter chocolates, and I just get all those. It's almost like I'm eating hot chocolate, you know, in a sense. It's a really really rich, but not too rich of a flavor. It's perfect for me.
Yeah.
I definitely like mine for the simplicity of it, but as far as flavor-wise, I think the Giada's wins.
Yeah.
It's a little nutty and caramelly and like soft, pillow, and
Yeah, really good.
it's really good. It's really good.
So, my vote doesn't even matter because it's already been proven that Giada's is the winner, but I would actually probably go with Giada's as well just for the sheer texture. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. This has been Recipe Wars. My name is BC Hoffman. Catch us next time when we keep fighting.